Okay, we are now recording live.
Is mine on?
Yeah, yours is on. Technically, it picks up from both mics, so.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lost and Found podcast, where if you have Okay.
We'll leave it in there. We'll just leave it in
Yeah,
there.
we'll leave it in there.
We'll keep it authentic. We're not gonna cut stuff. Go ahead, take two.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lost and Found podcast, where if you are lost, then you have found the right podcast. I am your host, Anson, and
I'm
this
the other
is
host, Andrew Nishitomi.
Andrew Nishitomi. Now, we did say welcome back, but technically this is the first episode, so
It's not
welcome to the Lost and Found podcast, where if you are lost, then you have found the right podcast.
Yeah. This is crazy. Anyways, this is the very first one. I guess for starters, Anson and I literally came up with this like 2 or 3 weeks ago and decided to just pull the trigger and just do it. Because I was already ordering mics because I was trying to do gym vlogs, but then that stopped because school kind of caught up. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, so we're here with the podcast now, and this is actually, I wanted to film a podcast last fall semester, so a year ago, around this time, I had the idea to film a podcast. Now, I wanted to do like a podcast where I would interview people in the pod at our school. But the pod is like this, basically it's a little gas station, but I had the idea.
It's not a gas station.
It's
like a university like gas station.
Yeah, that's the vibes. Is you go in there, it's like gas station vibe. You grab a quick snack, grab a drink.
It's literal gas station food.
Yeah, literally. So I wanted to film a podcast where I'd go in there, I'd find somebody and I'd interview them. Basically, ask them, like, "Oh, how's classes going? What do you like about college? What year are you? What's your major?" Get their story.
The small college talk.
Yeah, like small college talk, but like in the pod, and I would call it the Pod Podcast, because like, come on, that name is sick. It's a play on words. It's sick.
No.
And then I would entice them by being like, if you answer my questions, I'll buy you anything you want from the pod.
That's biased.
No.
That's unethical.
Oh, what are we? Data ethics?
Exactly.
No. I don't think that's. I think that's a good reward.
It's a good incentive.
It's a good incentive. Right?
Very expensive too.
It is. It is very expensive. That's what I was worried about. That I would quickly go broke, or they'd find a loophole and gouge me.
Okay, try scroll up to the episode name.
This is episode 1 of the podcast, entitled "Lost and Found,"
where it all began. Pretty much in this episode, Anson and I are gonna just kind of talk about like how we met, and then kind of like how our in a sense our brotherhood kind of grew, more so in college than it was in high school. And then just kind of like how the two of us, we really kind of just like really bonded together. Some of it was trauma, some of it was over similar beliefs and mindsets. And then also just kind of talking about how the recent, in a sense, trauma event really brought us closer together. And then just kind of like where we're looking at for the future, in a sense. So just giving a really deep and big intro about us, because we're definitely two different people from when we were in high school. And we also didn't even really know each other in high school.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. So we technically did go to the same high school.
No, we did.
We did. Oh,
okay, technically no, because I came in senior year.
So yeah, that's the thing. So
we won't mention the school though.
We're
not mentioning that school.
We will not mention the school where you went.
Well, it doesn't matter where I went.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we could put it out there.
I guess
right?
we could put it out there.
Or should we just like put the abbreviations for it?
So we went to DMS.
There you go. Okay.
That's where we met, was DMS. And DMS was
It's definitely not. It's something else.
It's something else. It's got character.
Yeah.
Not
that kind of character.
Not the good character.
Yeah. It's both. It's both.
It's both. It's a little bit.
You can't undermine it. It's a pretty decent, good school, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
But essentially, we met. It was my senior year. I transferred from a different school because it closed down. It's actually the sister school of DMS. which is SFS. Um, and then kind of we met earlier in that year, so that fall 2019 school year at a encounter retreat. And
Yeah,
keep in
it was
mind,
called Encounter Retreat.
yeah, so keep in mind, I wasn't technically seniors aren't supposed to go as like a participant, but because my school shut down and I wasn't able to go, uh, I can't say the name, but shout out to, oh, what do they call him?
What? What do you mean?
Well, what was his?
Oh, Big Man.
Yeah, Big
Big
Man.
Man.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Big Man.
shout out to Big Man for getting Andrew into
Yeah, that
into
retreat.
Encounter Retreat. Yeah, because Encounter Retreat it's mainly for juniors, and then seniors would go, but they would be like more mentors.
Yeah, it's like a
on the retreat.
leaders.
Yeah, they would be the leaders and kind
Retreat
of
leaders.
lead the group of juniors through this retreat. And it was all guys retreat.
Yep.
For the boys. For the boys.
Definitely a fun one for sure, but we
Yeah.
can't talk about what went on.
Yeah, that was like rule number 1. You don't talk about what
Yeah,
happens.
it's basically like what stays in Vegas, or what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But
yeah.
in this case, what happens at retreat stays at retreat. But
Yeah, so that's how we met. I remember I met you. Was it through? It was either. I think it was through. Was it Braden or Josh?
I want to say it was through both, but I want to say it's through. See, we're not even supposed to put names out there. No, it's common names.
Yeah, nobody's gonna.
I guess so.
Nobody's gonna go. It's not like they're listening to this.
Oh, it's not even bad. So I think I want to say it was Braden, but I think Josh is the one that definitely entices friendships.
Oh
together.
yeah, for sure.
It's
Yeah,
definitely golden retriever energy for sure.
Oh, dude.
I don't know how he is
100%.
now.
I think he's doing good. Last I checked, last I saw on the good old IG. Last I saw. I mean, it's been a while, so yeah.
For sure.
I don't have Instagram, but Andrew has Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, Anson occasionally goes on my Instagram to see how people are doing,
Yeah, to
or
check
to
on
go look at.
to go check on people, quote unquote. Yeah, no. So yeah, we met at Encounter Retreat. I remember the first time I saw you.
It was through the.
It was I didn't know who you were. I'd never seen you before.
Yeah, so we've never seen each other on campus until the retreat.
Yep.
And then after the retreat, we still didn't see each other because I was in sports, or at least I was in paddling. That's the only sport I did. Well, technically I tried out for volleyball, but I was a sore loser and I quit. I'm not afraid to admit it. I was a sore loser.
That is hilarious.
But I never met. Stupid neighbors, I tell you.
Hold on, we're having some technical
But-
difficulties.
Yeah, so we didn't really see each other throughout high school or my last year. And then fast forward to college. So we both go to the same college as well. Clearly, that's why we're actually starting this podcast. It's literally Anson's actual senior year, and this is my last semester. But where am I going with this? So pretty much, so when we actually started talking more, it was actually Anson that had reached out to me because I was doing a semester at our sister school or sister university, St. Mary's University. Shout out to Texas. And I was doing the same internship that we both did for data science, which is our area of study. And Anson was also kind of like on the same path throughout college as me, where it was like this big like change major exploration phase.
Yeah.
Because he went from like pre-med biology, pre-med psychology.
Yeah, when I came into college, I was pre-med biology, and I was about pre-med biology for about a week, and I was
And then you switched.
actually the semester didn't even start. It was like new student orientation day, and I was literally going about the festivals, like the usual NSO stuff,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm gonna go talk to an advisor and change my major. So I changed to pre-med psych, and then I did that for 2 years, and then I was like, I want something different. And I heard about this data science thing, and people were like, yeah, you should do data science. There's a lot of opportunity involved, a lot of opportunity to do internships and research, and money. Man, that was a big one. I'm not
It's
gonna
always
lie.
money. It's always the money.
It's always the money. No, they said, yeah, a lot of people were saying that there's a lot of money in data science. So that was, I'm not gonna lie, that was a big reason I made the leap was for the money about it. But yeah, so Andrew was doing an internship or had done an internship.
No, I think I was still
Oh,
doing
you were
it.
still doing it.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
because that's when I pitched it to the DS 101 class for
That's right. And
yeah.
then
I had to do a Zoom. I was as part of my internship and being the guinea pig, I had to entice the program to people, to which it did grow after I did it. So I'm not trying to take all credit for it because I'm not the one who built it. But yeah, so Anson asked me about the program. He asked me about the internship because that was kind of like his gateway going into the program. So he did that. He literally calls me out of nowhere. I forgot that I even gave him my number. He calls me out of nowhere. He texts me. I'm like, "Who's this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Anson." I'm like, "Oh shoot, that's right." Because I remember because that semester prior to me leaving for Texas, I remember him asking me about it. I remember briefly. I remember him briefly asking me about the program, right? And then
yeah, I was asking about the program because so I think both in our first years, we both didn't know that we went to the same university.
so I didn't. Yeah, I had no idea he went to Chaminade. I had no idea what he was studying. Like I didn't know any of that.
Yep.
Especially because my first year was online because of COVID,
Yeah.
and then yours was like halfway through.
Mine was yeah, we did I think we did the first couple weeks of my like in person at one point. I don't know if it was the first semester or second semester. But there was a period where we were online. And then I did come in person and eventually I don't remember when or how, but I ran into Andrew and then we were catching up and then I got his number and I was telling him, "Man, yeah, I've been thinking about switching majors."
Yeah, yeah,
He was,
yeah.
and he was giving me some advice
Like I normally do.
like he normally does and he was like, "Yeah, here's my number if you ever have any more questions or need anything, hit me up." And I was like, "Sweet. Will do." And then yeah, probably was like a couple months later that I actually did hit you up.
Yeah, it was when I was in Texas.
It was when he was yeah, it was when
It
he
was
was
when
in
I was in
Texas.
Texas, and you hit me up, and you actually finally switched. It was
Yeah.
also kind of late because it was his junior year, right? You switched officially.
Yeah, junior year was the official switch. So
Yeah,
yeah, so I had begun taking data science classes though
your sophomore year.
in my late sophomore year.
Yeah,
Like right at the end, the
and
last
that's when you
semester.
switched
Yeah, and then I switched
eventually.
over. Yep.
Yeah, so that's kind of like how everything kind of started, and then I was, what was it? Because I'm a double. I'm gonna be finishing with a dual degree. So I was taking classes for my other major area of study, which is criminal justice, when you were finally switched.
Really?
Yeah, I was finishing up the criminal justice, and then you know who, we won't say his name, wanted me to take data science stuff after,
Mm-hmm.
which I kind of wish I did the opposite, but it's okay. We're here now.
We're here now. Yeah, it all led to this
Us
moment.
making this podcast,
Yeah,
and
so
hopefully
it
being able to
worked out.
continue after.
Yeah, that's the first lesson we're gonna teach. Things work out. They always do.
Yeah,
Just gotta
especially.
trust the process and go with it.
Especially to Anson's also a very nonchalant, and only recently I've been nonchalant as well. So it's kind of scary, but it's also exciting for sure.
Yeah, no. Honestly, dude, I've been going about like when I first came into college, I was super serious. Like my first year of college, I didn't just spend time in the library. I lived in the library. I was there. As soon as I got to campus, straight to the library, go to class, go back to the library. I was in there 24/7. But life was good in the library. I enjoyed my time there. I actually did enjoy it. And then started going to our school's student center, which is called the Lou. Not the best name, you know? But you tell somebody who hasn't been to Chaminade that like, oh yeah, where are you hanging out? It's like, oh, the Lou. They're like they always pause with confusion.
It's also not the greatest. Like it's called the V and Paul Lou Student Center. Considering it's a smaller university, it's not bad. Like at St. Mary's, they have this area called the Commons. It's basically where the library is, but the library is like on the second floor. The Commons is on the first floor, and there's an actual
Oh.
Starbucks in there.
Oh, see, okay.
Yeah,
It's
like
Texas.
no, but
Well,
like
it's also our
it's a
school
little.
is small.
It is.
Yeah.
Like granted, it's on a hill.
It is literally on a rock. The place it is called is Kalai Pohaku, which literally translates to something rock.
We're
I
not we're not Hawaiian, so if you are
we are
Hawaiian and
not
you know
Hawaiian.
what it
And
means, don't come after us.
yeah,
And we
it,
don't claim to be wannabes either.
yep.
We're definitely far from that because we are.
But I know the name Kalai Pohaku. My uncles know what it means. They St. Louis grads, they love it. Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much how we kind of grew as friends, or just kind of like how it all started. And then just to kind of like talk about how our beliefs and mindsets really kind of molded it even more was we both come from like faith backgrounds. Anson's a little bit more background is more intense than mine's. Mine's is very loose just because of the household I grew up in. So that's one, because obviously that's how it all started.
Yeah.
And then two, the second thing I would say is Anson and I really have like this, and we talk about this all the time too. Like this isn't like just us saying this for the podcast and all that. Like we actually talk about this stuff. Um, is like it's a real like kind of like big bro, little bro type moments where um the choices that I've made, he I wouldn't say he admires, but he really looks at it and adds it to his own perspective. Um Especially to and we'll go a little bit more into it and we can't drop names. Um but we'll probably think of like I'll probably think of a nickname for who I'm going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's certain things that I've gone through and he's seen recently, and he's also kind of like I'm not gonna say he's modeled it, but he's taken into consideration of what he's been doing in life, and like reframing and really kind of just reorganizing his way of you know moving. I guess I don't know. That doesn't make sense, but just kind of like how he's moving about or the choices he's making. That's
Yeah.
better. So that's one, and then um, like even for this is my final semester. This is like his last
Senior year.
year, but like this semester we could kind of almost hang out every single day.
Yeah.
And then only recently I've been taking him to school, or like I pick him up, I meet him at like a particular mall here, and then
Then we head
and
out
then we
to
head
school.
out to school.
Mm-hmm.
It saves his because he doesn't have his license yet.
I do not. Yeah, unfortunately,
he will eventually get it.
I
Soon.
will. I got the test in like a month from now.
He will eventually
Get
get
a
it,
test in a month from now.
but until
Yeah.
then, I don't mind it either because it saves me time.
Saves some time. Yeah, we get to take the zipper lane.
Yeah, the zipper lane.
Yeah.
We take about like 35 to 40 minutes to get to school, so it's definitely a benefit as well. And then plus, his brother doesn't live far from me, so I just drop him off at his brother's house instead of driving like another 30 minutes to get to your house.
Another 30 minutes to get to my place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's like, our friendship, especially within the last year, has really grown a lot. And it's been one part to just being in the same areas, so being in the same classes, hanging out the same places, but also like he said, that mindset and those beliefs. Just going back to kind of how we believe in like the same religions. Like that school we did go to it was a Catholic high school. That retreat we went on was a religious retreat. So that is kind of how we first kind of bonded, is like that shared common interest.
It's just like that ground. It's like what the foundation laid for it.
Yeah, exactly. So and again, I think a lot of it comes back to that retreat, because it was on that retreat that really we kind of understood that everybody who went on it was sort of, by the end of it, you could trust them, right? You could lean on them a little bit, and you kind of knew that at their core they were good people, and that down the line, if you ever were to see them again, I think about those boys all the time, and I'm like, hey, always wonder how they're doing. Like we were talking about like Josh earlier, like
Yeah.
at the beginning of this podcast, like last I heard he's doing he looks like he's doing okay. Life looks good for that guy.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's what you see online is different than what they're actually going through. So,
That is true. That is true.
and it's also like that retreat, right? Like when people go on that retreat, like it's that mindset you start to develop over like those few days, and then eventually it goes away because you go back into the real world.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
true.
definitely just like that a vulnerable space that I think often us guys don't really go into as much
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, and we really don't get that opportunity to, but
Yeah, but Anson and I literally lately we just got right into it.
yeah, and I think well, I think it's because like we both understand like I feel like some people they just don't know. Well, we've both done it before in the past.
Yeah, and we
So
also both know how to like just to put it to perspective, I guess. Both of us aren't really like he's a yapper, but we both don't really. I don't know. This is just what I've been like, but from what I hear from you, but we don't have like that high of a social battery,
yeah,
and we're
yeah,
like those people that like really enjoy like our own alone time.
yeah, definitely,
Like a
100%.
lot of it's alone time. But like even though we've been like hanging around each other almost like every single day, literally, like we're still cool. Like because we have like this really good dynamic and balance where I think we can just leave it off, honestly. But we have like this good dynamic and balance where it's like, okay, if there's like a topic that's kind of like drying up, we just kind of stay quiet for like a good like 10, maybe 15 minutes or whatever. Like this is always in the car, it happens too. Like the conversation runs dry. And then we finally just talk about something else. And it's the most random thing. Um, but yeah, that's just kind of like how we are now. But
Mhm.
till
I guess like we've okay. This is what from what I've heard from other people. A lot of people like to describe us like we got this like I think they call us old guys.
yeah,
They Andrew gets it more. Andrew gets the old man comments more.
it's also because I'm a super senior, so
Yeah, so he
I
gets
get
those
called
old man
super
comments.
senor.
The only guys that call me old man are like the freshman sophomore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep in mind, people, these are seniors that are gonna graduate with Anson that are calling me a grandpa or
yeah, the
old
people
man.
from my
But it's also
year.
because like I have like this routine that I've developed as well. Like I literally just go to the gym, work, school, and then now it's like maybe like record these, um, and that's all I do. And Anson's just kind of like staying quiet because like he's just letting me explain all this stuff. But
Yeah,
I guess should we transition more into the how it really kind of brought us to go together
yeah,
and
yeah.
like
I
how we
think
really got to this point?
mhm, definitely agreed.
You want to go first, or shall
Um,
I explain it?
you know what? I'll explain the situation, and then if you want to go,
Or you can explain the context. I can explain
yeah,
everything.
yeah. I'll explain the context. So what really brought us together was probably a series of events that unfolded earlier in the year. so so here we gotta provide some context. So to provide some context, last semester
She just
was
put it as relationships.
yeah, okay, last semester, bottom line up
Romantic
front.
relationships.
Yeah, bottom line up front. A couple months ago we both were in relationships, right? We both had girlfriends.
It was like 5, 6 months to give more better context. Well,
Yeah.
4 months. 4 months for him, 5 months for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we both were in relationships and yeah. And then well, there's really no way to go around it. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Anyways, we both got broken up with in the same week,
Yeah. Oh
essentially.
well. How would I put it? You got broken up with. I had to find out for myself.
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true.
Technically, it's the same thing.
It's technically the same thing. But
Um,
yeah, that's true. So Andrew
and yeah,
with his relationship, and this is when he was saying earlier, like I kind of listened to his advice and I kind of admired things he does. So this was one of the things that I admired about him was how he handled this situation. So with his relationship, what had happened was
or maybe I should explain it.
he yeah
Should I explain like the full context, like the Uno
yeah.
reverse card? I guess I could.
Yeah, you could.
So, anyways,
Or if anything, that we could always save that for another episode. But like,
I feel like this is what really brought us together, though,
okay, yeah,
because it
sure.
really like I don't see why it's such a bad thing to start off with such a juicy like,
That's true.
like this is
Okay,
such a
yeah.
juicy topic, and then plus we've only been like talking for, I mean, it's about 25 minutes, so I think we can
Oh,
extend it
okay,
for
go.
sure. Or you want to start? No, wait, no. It's better if I start because it's
Better
the
if you start.
context. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were first.
Yeah. So I was with this off and on with this girl for about 2 years. In the beginning, obviously it's the honeymoon phase, so it's not bad, right? So there
No,
was
life's
that.
good in the honeymoon
Yeah,
phase.
it's
Life's
always good
great.
and then eventually in the first year things start to unfold, and this is like my sophomore year, um, or no, junior year. Shit, I don't even know. Um, Anyways, it was like in the first year. Um, Things were going fine in the beginning, and then it slowly started creeping out of it, and that's when all like the, I would say all the, oh shoot, all the red flags that should have been noticed were blown away. And yeah, it was blown away. I blew it off completely. I was immature at that rate at that time too. I will admit it. Um, and then fast forward to like a year later, and keep in mind it's been off on, off on. Like arguments started getting a little worse because it's, like you're transitioning into that phase, right, of your senior year. And then I also made this stupid mistake as well. I've both been the cheater, not, yeah, I guess I can admit it, the cheater and the cheated. Um, so, but how would I say, it's not like I slept with another chick. Like I actually cut it off and then went to go pursue. So, um, there's that. And then after that event had occurred, which was last summer. No, not this past summer, but 2023 summer. Is when like I left, went to go talk to another girl because I thought this girl was. I wouldn't say she was like the most physically attractive.
Right.
Like she was pretty if she had makeup on, but without it, then it's like.
So every girl's pretty with
Yeah,
makeup
yeah,
on. For the
yeah,
most
yeah.
part.
But like morals, values, and personality kind of made up for it.
Right. Right.
So there was that, and then eventually that came to the end because I told you about this, because of the, you know, talking, like it's a typical red flag these days. If you're talking really bad about your ex, and that's not a good sign. So I did that, and then got back with my ex, and then that's when things really, really, really got messy. Then fast forward to the last semester because I walked because we don't have like a graduation ceremony for winter and spring. We only have spring. So I walked last semester. And keep in mind, people that are listening to this, in April Fools, the last week of March and April Fools weekend is when I found out. And hold on for a second, because I can laugh about this all day now. Well, now I can. But on April Fool's weekend, that weekend, um, I get a call. Or wait, no, I think I went too far forward.
Did you?
I did. So basically, 2 weeks before April
Right.
came around the corner, I get told that she was gonna go take care of a grandparent that was ill or sick or dying, whatever that is. It was a lie. Okay, just cut to the chase. Fast forward to 2 weeks later,
April Fool's weekend.
April Fool's weekend. I get a call. When she left to go take care of that family member, what she actually meant was that she flew across. Keep in mind, this was supposed to be in California. She flew to North Carolina, married a military man. This military man then calls me on April Fool's week saying, "Why are you talking to my wife?" I'm so confused. And then, yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. Um, I don't need to go too much into the
Dude,
details
yeah.
of,
I mean,
that. And then, basically, I also had class with Anson during this time as well. I kept showing
yeah.
up, and I had it was towards the end of the semester, and projects, I had like 6 projects I had to do, and it was all big ones. It wasn't small.
No, last semester for him and for me was class wise. We had a lot of classes together, and a lot of our classes
I think we only had
big
one
projects.
class.
No, we had
2?
two.
We had machine learning.
We had
Oh, no, 3.
We had 3. Yeah, we had
Specs class,
specs, machine learning,
and data journalism.
data journalism. My
Yeah.
favorite. Love that. God, I hate that class.
Yeah, data journalism was a pretty big one. Machine learning was super big. I had a capstone, gen ed capstone class. It was a big essay. I spent a lot of time on it. I also had a portfolio for my other program that I had to do, and I also had, oh shoot, what was it? There was 3 other classes I took. I forgot, but something like that. It was like 6 projects. I was stacked. I was living in the library the whole entire time.
Yeah, he was. I can attest to that.
I was grinding it out.
100% he was in there.
I was working like 32 to 24 hours a week. Yeah, I was grinding, people. Like, I didn't let it, as much as I could have let it happen, I didn't. But I'll let Anson kind of get into it, and then I'll also let you explain how, like how I said earlier, like what I was doing during that time is what really kind of like, because I think what you saw, what I did, really changed the way how you went about things.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, yeah, I'll let you explain
100%.
that and then go into that.
Yeah, so when Andrew was going through his thing, like, it was pretty crazy to come back from that. Because, like, so April Fool's weekend, it was a very interesting weekend because, so my birthday is April 1st, right? So when I saw this guy in the library, so this is something they'd always do. He'd always be in the library, and I knew that. So I would go to the library. At this point in the semester, I had kind of fallen off in terms of being productive, right?
Yes,
Being
it's very
productive,
true.
being on top of my work, kind of fell off, slacking off a lot. And it was catching up to me. Like, my grades were slipping, and I was like, okay, you know what? I got to lock in. I got to go back to the library, go back to my roots, got to spend some time back in the library again and get my grades up. So at this point in the semester, I knew Andrew would be in the library, so I'd hunt him down in the library, sit next to him, and do some work with him. And I remember I'd come into the library, and he was wearing a hoodie, and I was like, okay, it looks a little, something doesn't look right. Something doesn't look right, but I was like, he goes to the gym in the morning. He's probably tired, working too.
Yeah, there was a few mornings where I went like at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those things. But I think we could also save that for a different episode as well.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely something that should be mentioned, I think, as a guy, in terms of dealing with, I would say in terms of dealing with a breakup.
Mhm.
But yeah,
So that is definitely something
we should definitely talk
definitely
about.
discuss about in the
I think it's definitely
future installments.
it's definitely an important thing to talk about as well.
Yeah.
I think mentally.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, so I saw Andrew and sat down, started doing some work, and I don't know how we came about it, but eventually Anson was like, "You good?" And then that's when he's like, "Read this." And I'm looking at it and reading it.
Yes, I think I showed him the text messages and
Yeah.
everything, and then the husband had actually texted me because
Yep.
I decided to be an evil person and text the husband and just let him know what was going on because like I feel like as a guy you should have the right to know.
Oh, for sure.
But if he ever hears this, like, stupid idiot for marrying Nat, that's just a bag of problems, like a bag of problems, bag of traumas that honestly I don't know if she's ever put in the work to heal, but that's not my problem no more.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I found out, that whole situation, that she had basically left to go marry some guy, and she'd been with him while she was with Andrew. I was like,
And keep in mind, people, she was talking to this guy, so they actually had talked over the
Yeah.
summer as well, the summer that I left, and then it stopped, and then she picked it back up in October.
Yep.
And continued it, and I had no idea. I was like, so, you can call me stupid because there was also some signs that I realized after the fact, but like I was,
But as a guy, you never want to, like,
yeah, you never want to assume that.
Yeah.
But you also, like, I think when you come to a certain point in relationships where you like,
you finally just you don't get to that point no more where you're like, I don't know how would I say this, but like it's like that distrust or like that, you're just kind of like, okay. Keep in mind the
I've
excuse.
never. Okay, I don't think I've forgotten to that point before.
Yeah, but keep in mind like the excuse for this, bro. I don't think I've ever told you this. It was because she wouldn't show me her phone because she was so protective over it. That's the red flag. But
Oh.
her excuse was that her brother does this with his girlfriend and stuff, and they do it. So I'm like, okay, it's a family thing. Like she had like the most legit excuses that I could probably think of, or maybe consider
Mhm.
legit. So I was like, okay, but stupid me, right? Later down the line, what happens? But
Right.
honestly, it's the best thing that's probably ever happened to me. Okay, well, it's not the best thing, but it's there's two sides of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. So, anyways, no. So literally, when I was reading these texts and I like found out, I was looking at this guy. This guy, keep in mind, this guy is working on a machine learning final, right? He's working on a huge machine learning project, and I'm like, I don't know how you're in this library right now,
Keep in mind, people,
working on this project.
I sucked at machine learning. I passed with a B. I really didn't know what I was talking about at the end of the semester because our professor was like singing "Rap God" by Eminem.
Yeah, no, okay. So keep in mind this machine learning class. So every week we covered a new machine learning topic.
Almost every week, yeah.
Yeah, and so here's the thing: it's possible to do that. There's packages where you can do machine learning and it's super quick.
Nope.
But for us, we didn't get to use those packages. No.
We had to manually
from scratch build our own models.
Did some of us do that? No.
No. People cried in that class.
Yes, and people quit.
People quit and they cried.
And they still have to take that class with her, most likely.
Yep. So
And she said that, and the professor said this will most likely be the easiest class I've ever taught. But she was really knowledgeable. I will give her that.
Oh no, she was smart. Yeah,
super
for sure.
smart, super
Brilliant.
like brilliant.
Yep. Just, God,
Hardcore.
hardcore indeed.
But those are the kind of professors.
Also, this class is at 6:30 at night.
Yes, 3 days a week.
3
for
days
50
a week,
minutes.
6:30 at night, and so I live on the west side of the island, which is school is far. School is like a 2-hour drive most days. So having a class at 6:30 at night was
Brutal.
But so, anyways, he was working on this, like right in the just found out that she was cheating on him for months, and like he's over here working on this machine learning project, just going about like nothing happened. I mean, obviously, it's on the back of his mind, but he put it on the back burner, focus on his responsibilities, and that's the part that really stood out to me, was because even though he's going through something that is like that'll break most guys, like most guys will go through this and like they fall apart. Like I've seen guys go through like similar situations and they fall apart. They the bottom line, they let their responsibilities slip. They're no longer on top of their work. They don't want to wake up and go to the gym. They don't want to go to work anymore. Like, not that, like, again, we're not going to name names, but I know somebody who went through something similar, and basically he did exactly that. He let everything slip. But Andrew did it. Andrew, he freaking he laced up his boots, and he fucking
Laced up his boots.
got to work, dude. He's like, I'll deal with this. I'll work through this, but I'm not going to let this fucking set me back. And I really respected that. Like, as somebody who was going through like a similar situation in terms of being in a relationship that was like basically at the end of a relationship, trying to work things out and things weren't working out, I could relate to that in the sense that I had all this work I needed to do, and I'm gonna admit he handled it a lot better than I did.
I was also a little bit more harder on him because I knew he could do better. I knew that he was letting his responsibilities go because he was skipping class. Keep in mind, he was in Lala or Goo Goo Gaga land. Like, this man stayed up till went home at like 5 in the morning the next day.
Yeah.
Talking to this girl in the parking lot or parking garage at school. Like, it's little puppy love type stuff, but we won't get into that. But I was really hard on him. and then eventually there was a point where I stopped. I don't know if you remember that.
I
I
do.
actually stopped like getting him to go to class and
I do.
um
Yeah.
and whatnot, because at the end of the day, like as a friend, or even like as a brother, or even as like a guy friend, guy to guy friend, you really eventually have to just let them learn. Like you have to let them learn. You have to let
Mhm.
them go. You have to let them experience it, because after a while, you can keep trying, but at a certain point, when do you stop?
Exactly. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I do remember that. I do remember when you stopped. Because if there's anything like I'm grateful for, it's my awareness. Like I'm aware of a lot of things that are happening and like a lot of the changes. I can see them. I won't always acknowledge them. But I did recognize when Andrew did stop. Kind of like dragging me to class and kind of stopped doing those things, and that was also kind of another sign where I was like, okay, he's no longer gonna help me. I gotta. It's either I help myself, or I just go down a path that, you know, that I never went down that path, thank God.
Yeah,
But
and there's a few examples of like, because I kind of just hopped into Anson's friend group, kind of basically. There's a few of them in there that are like that. One person in particular. And I always tell him this too. He's kind of finally, I think he finally kind of let go of the reins a little bit and just, let him go. But yeah. And like, keep in mind, he'll make jokes to me too about being a super senior, but yeah. We won't mention that one about that. But yeah. And really, like, this whole experience of last semester is what really brought us together.
Mhm.
And both of us have really grown in that time period. During the summer, we didn't really talk because we're both busy. But
Yeah,
then,
very busy.
yeah, very busy, doing internships and stuff.
Yeah.
One is a lot cooler than the other, in my opinion. And plus, it's kind of like this low bro, big bro type moment where I'm the more responsible one and he's the more ambitious and successful one. Because I'm over here looking for jobs and applying, and Anson's kind of like hooking it up with like the connections that he's made, and then trying to help me find something. Because the job market right now is terrible.
Yeah, no, it's rough. It's rough.
And especially like the internship that he did, it's like, how would I explain this? So it's military based,
DoD, Department of
DoD.
Defense.
Most of it's like Space Force stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, um, I'm just trying to look for something entry level. Like on top of that, I'm applying for other jobs that like are kind of entry level, but I'm not settling for less, and I have to build up from that, which I think people should do. I'm not saying people shouldn't do that. Like they should do it, and they should also consider it. Because you start so low. Like yeah, you should start low.
Oh no, 100%.
But it takes so long. Like, let's say you want to stay at that company, right? It's
Yeah,
gonna take so long for you to get there.
it does. It
And
takes
people
a
say
while.
like, and I'm those kind of people that like, I like to stay at a company,
Yeah.
or at least would
Oh,
like
I
to.
see. You would like to say it
I
again.
would like to. I don't like bouncing around.
Yeah.
Like it's nice eventually.
Also, that's just um, some people try to say that bouncing around is okay, but you talk to a lot of the guys who have been
in the industry.
in the industry for a while, they don't like that.
Yeah.
It's always young guys who are saying it's okay to jump around from company to company.
Especially
the older
professors these
guys-
days too.
Yeah, professors these days too.
And
would
they've
say
been at their jobs for how long?
that. Yeah.
Previously, before they even became professors, or
Mm-hmm.
some, I should say. So.
Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty healthy mix of people saying, yeah, find what you want. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
But I've gotten also the fair amount of people who say you will be looked upon like a black sheep if you're hopping from company to company.
Yeah, and we also kind of talked about this morning as well.
Yeah.
And another episode we wanted to record is about like asking questions, asking for help, just questions in general.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of had a disagreement, but I had to explain myself because there's two sides of it. But we will probably end up doing another episode.
Yeah.
We're just kind of gatekeeping. We're also kind of like
we're
soft
dropping
launching
all these hints for all these future episodes.
Yeah. So it's definitely one for the books.
Yep.
For sure. If people even actually listen to this. Keep in mind, this is like our first actual go.
Yeah, this is episode 1.
So
Are these mics on?
Yeah, they are.
They are on. No, but yeah, that is essentially how we met and how we came together. So yeah, like really respected Andrew's basically him just staying on the grind and staying, you know, keeping up with the responsibilities and make sure nothing slipped. Because
Yeah.
like I said, a lot of guys would have let responsibilities slip. They would have, told themselves, I just went through really something hard. It's okay if I slip. It's okay if I take a break right now. I need it. I need to take a mental health day, so to speak.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
he's like, no, I'm not gonna give myself this break. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, make sure I do it well and do it to the best of my abilities. And I really respected that because I was like, it because as somebody, when you see somebody going through that, and it's like, shit. For me, I was like, dude, if he can go through that, I can surely go through what I'm going through, and try like I did my best to like replicate what he did.
I wouldn't say replicate, but I would say that you've tried your best to do what you thought was good in that moment for
Yeah.
yourself, for sure.
Yeah, and definitely, I was able to turn it around last semester. So it was.
And he really turned it around this summer, actually, for sure.
Yeah.
The experience that he did, the internship, I think it was. I mean, I'm kind of jealous. I can't lie, but like it really opened up a lot of doors for him, and it really allowed him to grow, career wise.
Yeah.
And I mean, his life is not going to be about career. Like he actually will eventually develop like a life outside of career, because careers definitely shouldn't be the top of your priority.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
we're big advocates of building your character and really having that good basis and foundation as a person, for sure.
For
And that's
sure.
something we can talk about as well.
Yeah, that's an episode I want to definitely talk about. Is like
Building that foundation.
building that foundation, but also an episode talking about that balance.
Yeah, it's definitely balance.
Finding like that balance in your career, growing your career, but also the balance and taking that time to step back, reflect, spend it with people you love.
Really, just being patient is the biggest thing. Because I've also thought about that too. But oh shoot, I was gonna talk about something else. But okay, yeah. So like, even though Anson's really kind of giving me credit for what I went through, I really have to. I will say, like, I can't take credit for myself, because even though yes, I did put in the work, but I think I was fortunate. I think this time around, because it was like how many times where it was off and on, and I was always all over the place, and
Right.
But really, this time around, like, I was really fortunate to have people in my life that helped me get to where I am now, for sure. I think if you have like a good group of people around you, it definitely makes it a lot easier. And I think in those moments, they're the ones that you really can not only count on and rely on, but really know that they're there for you in those crucial moments, and not there for your success and your
Not just there for the good times.
yes, they're there for your bad times.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, like, I will say, in that relationship, I was through a lot of bad times and also had its good times, but like now, dude, I'll be chilling, nonchalant, very nonchalant. Used to never be.
Yeah, in some ways, it feels like we kind of switched roles this semester.
Very much so, we did.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And that's also due to the kind of classes I'm taking, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we just like wrap it up here?
Yeah, we
I
could.
think that was very good.
That was a
very
solid
good.
episode.
And we thought it wasn't gonna go all that great.
Yeah, I mean, this is essentially one take.
It is one take.
It is one take.
Like, we just did test runs with these mics. Keep in mind, I ordered this 2 weeks ago, got it in this week.
This is our first time using
And
these
this
mics.
is the first time using these mics. But
Yeah.
these mics are really good. I will say, for people who like want to use this for multi-purpose, definitely look into the DJI mics. Don't look into like the Rode mics, because you need like the what is it called? You need like a extra cord that you have to purchase. But definitely look into these mics, because they are super good.
No, these are very cool. They're
Yeah,
very cool.
and they have like 18 hours of battery life. We've been recording for almost 50 minutes, bro. This
Well-
is a good episode.
Wow. We'll do a full review on these mics.
For one episode, just
For one episode,
we won't
it'll
even
just be
title
mics.
Lost and Found, whatever.
Lost
We'll
and
just
found
put,
mics.
Just put mics, mic review,
Mic review.
or we just go on TikTok, do the tech reviews.
Lost and found reviews.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll come up with it.
I mean, we don't have a good camera for that one.
No, but okay, yeah. So, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Moving forward, we have a lot of episodes planned. We probably have about 5 more episodes planned already. And
3. We
3.
have 3 episodes
we
right
have 3
now.
more episodes planned. So for a total of 4. And
And we're also
yeah.
gonna record another one actually right after this.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna try and at least upload every Friday. Or sorry. Every Friday, and we're also gonna record every Friday.
Mhm.
We want to be able to have, and we'll see if we even get this out tonight. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I have the time for it, so I probably could put it up. But yeah, we're gonna try and be more consistent. We're not worried about it now because obviously I'll be graduating, and then I might be moving too as well, depending if I even get a job
Mhm.
somewhere else. I've been considering relocating, so there's that. So we're not worried about that. So we're just kind of like when we get to that point, we'll worry about that then. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, but moving forward, guys, be excited.
It's like don't wait. Be
Don't wait,
excited.
be
Look
excited.
forward to clicking on this.
Yeah, we have more episodes. On this podcast, we're going to cover range of topics, but we mainly are looking to kind of use our personal anecdotes, kind of use our personal stories to kind of tie in with some lessons that we
Very
that have-
subjective.
very subjective, but lessons that have helped us get to points in where we are in life.
And we also want to put substance.
Yeah, and substance. Like we don't
Like,
want
we
to
don't want to just be the ones telling you do this, do that, like
Yeah.
the Andrew Tate kind of thing, or Justin Waller kind of vibes.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, like we want to be able to provide that substance, be able to allow maybe you, if you're going through something that's relatable, that you can take away from,
Mhm.
and then also maybe implement it in your life. You know, we want to offer a different perspective. We don't want to make you think that this is the only perspective you should have, because you shouldn't have. You know, podcasts should be where you gain different perspectives and maybe you can add it. It's kind of like if people are familiar. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Jay Shetty.
Oh, he's like the monk guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool guy.
The monk guy.
Actually, when I was going through my breakup, I would watch his stuff a
Jay
lot.
Shetty, really?
Yes.
What
Provides such good substance.
What did I watch during my breakup? I don't even remember what I watched. I listened to a lot of Adele.
We can talk about this after.
Adele on repeat. Dude, I want to go to an Adele concert.
Really? I also did Etta James.
That's like number 1 on my list is Adele.
Oh. I was listening to Etta James a little bit.
Etta James?
Sam Smith. Sam Smith, for some reason, was hitting so hard.
Oh, okay, yeah, Sam Smith. Yeah. Yep, there's another one.
Okay, but anyways, thank you all for tuning in. We're probably about to go record a second one. And keep in mind, we're not going to really listen back to this audio. We're probably just going to put in the intro song. And that's about it. I think we should just keep it authentic like that.
Really?
I think we should leave the mess ups too.
Really?
I think so.
Oh.
I mean, people can go scrolling through. It's a long
could.
scroll. It's almost an hour's
a
worth
long
of
scroll.
podcast recording.
You know what we could do too? We could do upload to, it would be like cut and then uncut, you know?
No, that's too much work.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean,
but,
early, I can do like the cut versions if you don't want to do it.
yeah. All right. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week. Once again, if you were lost, you have found the right podcast. Shooties.
Have a good one.